Bristol's Children of the 90s study is beginning a new international research project to investigate all aspects of COVID-19. The study, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary, is inviting back all three generations of the same family to take part. Here's our health correspondent, Matthew Hill.
When the children of the 90s were born, nobody realised how important this study would become. In the 30 years which have passed, everything they've enjoyed, experienced and eaten as they've grown from babies to adults has been analysed. Results have produced hundreds of important findings. Josie Ball is 30 years old. She's been with Children of the 90s all of her life. Over the years, she's come in for regular tests and filled in questionnaires. In fact, it's three generations of her family who are now on the books. She had coronavirus a year ago, which is now interesting to the researchers.
It was the March that it sort of first came about. My son went on holiday skiing to Italy and he came back, he was fine, but I got really, really ill. All the symptoms, chest, it was really bad.
And with the pandemic still gripping the world, the Children of the 90s now wants to play its part, hoping to learn even more about the long-term effects of the virus, including long COVID. There are 300 on this COVID trial, but in the autumn they're going to throw open the doors to almost 20,000 of the original three generations of participants. Many of them can do their own tests in their own homes. New virtual clinics will also be launched alongside the in-person sessions to allow for future COVID-19 lockdowns and also enable more people in the study to take part.
One of the key features of this project is that it's running 3 times. So we get to see the immune response of participants not just once, but over the course of a year. And it tells us how long those responses last and also what might happen in terms of long COVID, as you've mentioned.
Also taking part in the study is 28-year-old Liam Howlett. He's already been vaccinated as he cares for a child who has health problems.
I think the study's absolutely fantastic. It gives an opportunity for them to test everything and immunity and things like that, and if they can get some results from that, it's the job done. We're doing a very good job to help.
The researchers are also trying to find out about children's long COVID, where symptoms can be very different to adults. This is an area of science that's poorly understood, but as more biosamples are collected, it's hoped that once more the children of the 90s will be able to find the answers. Matthew Hill, BBC Points West.
A little earlier, I spoke to the founder of the Children of the 90s study, Professor Jean Golding, and asked her for her highlight from the past 30 years.
I think the major highlight is that it's continued to keep going, and the participants are, as far as I can see, enjoying and committed to the study, and the production of the results is just fantastic.
And it was all your vision?
Well, I certainly started it. I didn't foresee everything that was going to happen by any means.
And let's just talk about today's work on COVID. What lessons do you think might be learned from your study?
I think for the future, what we will be able to contribute is a study of the long COVID and how common that is, and how long the possible effects take to disappear.
How long do you think the Children of the 90s project will run? When will you say, let's call it a day?
Well, when I started it, with great temerity, I said we would follow them up until they were 7 years old. And then that went so well, I just put a 0 on the end of the 7. And quite honestly, I think we shall continue for as long as everybody is willing to take part. And the information we've got will be key in understanding in the future all those disorders of old age, because there's a lot of information to suggest that what happens early in life has such longitudinal effects.
Well, thank you for all your efforts and your work over the years. It's lovely to talk to you again. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Happy birthday to Children of the 90s.